video, I want to discuss a harsh reality being faced by millions of Americans right now. And that is the day-to-day struggle to support their families, and more specifically, just being able to feed themselves. We have 26 million Americans that are going hungry and on the verge of losing everything. This situation is serious and we need immediate action from our government. Now, I know there are lots of people making stimulus videos, myself included, and we talk about the unemployment statistics, we talk about the stimulus check, we talk about the unemployment benefits. But when we get down to it, guys, on a human level, these are real people in our country, in our cities, in our communities that are hurting really bad right now, while our government remains in dysfunction. And to add insult to injury, the politicians took off for a 1-month recess. I mean, they can call it whatever they want, but it's a vacation. Our political representatives make 6 figures per year, and this is what we get from them right now? No doubt, we need more action and accountability from our leaders. Comment below, what do you think about our political leaders? Should they get a salary if they're unable to reach an agreement on important legislation, such as a new stimulus package? Now, I'm sorry, Joe Dawes, it just really does frustrate me, and it makes me upset on so many levels because there are people suffering right now, and our politicians have the power to get this situation resolved, and because of their egos, they just can't sit down in a room and come to a mutual agreement. I really do think it's sad that the American people are caught in the middle of all this dysfunction. Before we get into the rest of the video, guys, I want to thank all my subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of my Joe Dawes. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the family. Consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell, as I'm posting valuable new content at least twice a week. So as Congress recesses for the rest of the summer without reaching a stimulus deal, tens of millions of Americans are left wondering, how are they going to pay their bills? In the meantime, around 28 million Americans are currently collecting unemployment benefits, and as many as 40 million could face eviction if Congress does not pass a second stimulus relief bill soon. Now, I've been reading and hearing about so many stories, guys, about people across our country who are really going through some tough times right now. I mean, these are hardworking citizens, hardworking, proud Americans that had jobs and were doing well, and due to no fault of their own have had their lives turned upside down. Literally, guys. Honestly, I find it very hard to read a lot of these stories, and I just wanted to share a few. So we have John Meadows, a 28-year-old father of 2 from Mississippi. He says, and I quote, "How am I going to feed my kid?" He lost his job at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum a few months ago. He said without the $600 enhanced unemployment benefits, his weekly income has fallen to $34 per week, and his rent alone is $800. He says that the only available jobs to him are at fast food restaurants, but the pay would not be enough to cover all of his bills, and they don't offer any other benefits like health insurance that he and his wife and kids need. In the article, guys, he states, and I quote, "I am now stuck sitting here wondering, how am I going to feed my kids? How am I going to be able to take care of my bills? How am I supposed to survive? I hope that we get something, anything to help my family out." Another story, guys, is a woman named Sheila Ritter who was laid off from her job as a security guard on March 14th of the year, which happened to be the same day as her oldest daughter's birthday. She states that affording enough food to feed her family has been a struggle since the spread of the virus. She went on to say in the article, and I quote, "It's devastated us. In the last 48 hours, I've only eaten a bowl of oatmeal and a hot dog. My stomach is growling and I have a headache." She went on to say that most of her conversations are about, when are we going to get something else to eat? And Mom, I'm hungry. I mean, this is truly heartbreaking, guys, to have your kids telling you that they are hungry and asking, when are we going to eat? When is our next meal? And you as a parent not knowing how or when you're going to be able to feed them. Our country's food banks have reported very sharp increases in the demand. Matter of fact, people have been camping out days in advance just to be able to get a box of food from a food bank. Some people are waiting for hours just to be able to get food to support themselves and their family. This is the untold story of millions of Americans whose lives hang in the balance during these stimulus negotiations. We are in one of the worst downturns in United States history. The number of Americans who are struggling to pay food has soared. It is estimated right now that around 20% of adults living with children said that they could not afford to adequately feed their families over the last 7 days. And this data was analyzed by the Center of Budget Policies and Priorities, They also said that nearly 26 million adults said people in their households are not eating enough because of a lack of funds. If anyone out there is watching this video and happens to be in that situation, my heart truly does go out to you and your family. I would really encourage you to apply for the SNAP program immediately. I'll include the link in the video description. If you do not have internet access to go on the Department of Agriculture's website and look up your state SNAP's phone number, you can also dial 211 to apply. And guys, do not feel guilty, do not feel bad or any kind of shame. Just focus on supporting your family. Now, the SNAP program and other programs are taxpayer resources, and they are here for you in your time of need. Now, the program does have rules about how much you can own as far as assets and how much you can have in income, and any unemployment benefits you're getting may make you ineligible. Regardless, guys, if you're in a financial bind and aren't able to feed yourself, it cannot hurt to apply. A one-person household can receive up to $194 a month, while a family of four can get up to $646. The Families First Coronavirus Response Act, passed in March, also provides additional SNAP benefits, including funds to replace lost meals for children who were previously getting free and reduced price meals at their schools. I wanted to touch on some of these stories, guys, because it really does put things into perspective. This is a life and death situation for millions of people, and our elected officials need to come together and pass a bill that is going to help the American people. I mean, this is what government is for. Many of the stories that I read, people are talking about how lots of jobs have gone and not returned, how many small businesses and even larger corporations are out of business or just bankrupt. Again, there are parts of our country that have been completely devastated, guys. I've seen previous comments where people have said, well, all they need to do is get up and get another job. I really do think that this way of thinking is a bit tone deaf to what's going on in our country right now. Again, there are plenty of people who want to work and are just unable to do so. There have been multiple studies done to show that the $600 enhanced federal unemployment benefits was not a deterrent for people returning to work. Now, I know that this is a complicated issue, guys, and there are many different viewpoints. At the end of the day, we have people who are suffering and need help, and I just hope they get it sooner than later. What are you guys' thoughts about the unemployment situation in our country and the status of our stimulus package negotiations and the current food situation, meaning millions of people who are unable to adequately feed their families? Please leave your feedback and comments below. If you found value in the video, please hit that like button. It helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. It goes a long way in growing and supporting the channel. Also, share this video on all your social media platforms, and do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and until next time.